Forget endless adaptations. These Jane Austen films and series actually capture the spirit of her novels. Number 1 has an iconic scene that even Austen purists can't resist. And number 5 brings Harry Potter's Dumbledore into Austen's world with unforgettable charm. If you think you've seen it all, think again. These are the only Austen adaptations that really matter. The show that launched 1,000 BBC period dramas. Jennifer Ehle is a sweet, sharp Elizabeth, and Colin Firth became the iconic Mr. Darcy. It's a long series, and it's getting a tad dated, but it remains the most faithful, comprehensive adaptation to date, and it cemented Andrew Davies as the go-to screenwriter for period adaptations. Who didn't fall in love with this film version of Austen's famous novel? Keira Knightley holds nothing back as Elizabeth, and Matthew Macfadyen makes a beautiful Darcy, but the supporting cast in this, everyone is just right. Rosamund Pike is a perfect, pure Jane. Tom Hollander is a spot-on Mr. Collins, and Donald Sutherland is downright lovable as Mr. Bennet. That's a very young Carey Mulligan as Kitty, if you missed her. Add in some gorgeous filmmaking and it's almost better than the 1995 version. Amanda Root famously wore little to no makeup in her lead role as Anne Elliot, and she is perfect in every way. You know how Hollywood often casts some gorgeous teenager in the role that the author described as a plain woman nearing 30? Well, in Persuasion, that's not the case. The casting is brilliant here, and Anne is so easy to root for. It is so satisfying to see her goodness and faithfulness persist in spite of disappointment and disparagement. This is the most aesthetically gorgeous Austen film you'll ever see in your life. The costumes, sets, and music are a feast for the senses. Anya Taylor-Joy, from The Queen's Gambit, portrays a highly complex Emma. Do we hate her? Do we love her? We don't know. And Johnny Flynn is the most passionate Mr. Knightley in history. Just look at him gaze. This one has some major deviations from the book, and some totally unnecessary partial nudity. Yet still, it's so watchable you can't look away. Here you get Emma's full story, faithfully rendered in all its parlor room glory. Romola Garai might just be the most pleasant Emma of them all. If Anya Taylor-Joy grated on your nerves, then try this miniseries. Michael Gambon, Professor Dumbledore, is a true-to-canon Mr. Woodhouse, and he's just as hilarious and lovable as intended. This series opens with some type of mysterious, sexy scene with lots of panting, but don't let that deter you if you like your Austen clean. This miniseries is a great way to experience the novel. Hattie Morahan shines as a warm, wise Eleanor. Watch for Dan Stevens, Downton Abbey, as the forlorn Mr. Ferrars, and Mark Williams, Arthur Weasley, as the always chipper Sir John Middleton. This series is short, sweet, and entertaining. This star-studded film went to the Academy Awards, and Emma Thompson won for Best Adapted Screenplay. Alan Rickman is perfect as the unlikely Colonel Brandon. This one is getting dated, as expected, but it's chock full of stellar performances, and those never get old. Catherine Morland, played by Felicity Jones, is a young woman who is altogether too obsessed with novels, especially those of a romantic nature. She comes of age in this tongue-in-cheek adaptation. We get funny glimpses into Catherine's swoony fantasies. Carey Mulligan as Isabella does a great job of showcasing the bad results of being a naughty flirt. There are some mildly sexy scenes and lots of flirting, but the movie is teen-friendly. Frances O'Connor is exquisite as Fanny Price in the only decent adaptation of this novel to date. She's a moral paragon, but she wears it with a likable irony and self-deprecation. If you love stories of unrequited love, then this'll hit the spot. There are political themes, imperialism and slavery, that add depth to the narrative landscape. There is some sexy scandal, but it's not grossly portrayed. This popular series is based on 11 chapters of a story that Jane Austen never finished before she died. Based on the source material, the scriptwriters did a great job extrapolating characters and settings. This is not exactly what I'd call innocent Austen. Cleanliness is patchy here, so is the morality. It's got a decent dollop of Bridgerton mixed in, drama, catfights, and some raunchy sex stuff.